Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to the series Visiting the Apostolic Fathers. We've covered the Didache, chapter 16 and chapter 11, where we looked at the signs of the end times, and also where we heard about the testing of prophets, teachers, and apostles. Today we are switching gear and we're looking at another apostolic father, and his name is Ignatius of Antioch. Before we launch into this apostolic father proper, I would like us to recall what the apostolic fathers were. These were documents or individuals who contributed to the edification and exhortation of a church between 95 AD and 150 AD. They had the church in mind, serving the church, to encourage the church and to strengthen the church in the faith about Jesus Christ. And as we hear their words, something comes to us in the 21st century regarding Christian tradition, but also lessons that we can apply to our own experience and walk with Jesus Christ. So Ignatius of Antioch lived between 35 AD and 107 AD. Now, he is an important figure, as we shall cover in the next few sessions. Ignatius of Antioch is known for his contribution to the church, and ultimately he is famous for his death. His death came at the hands of Emperor Trajan, who himself was a brute. He did not like Christianity, and many Christians fell at the hand of the emperor. We know that Ignatius was killed in the Colosseum. So lions were set upon him, and he's often depicted with a lion, or two lions rather, one on his shoulder, or knowing at his shoulder, and another one at his foot. And a halo often appears, and this martyrdom of Ignatius is often depicted in frescoes and even in Christian iconography in such a manner. Now, Ignatius is famous for his many letters, and these letters contributed to the shaping of early Christian thought. There's a letter that's written to Polycarp. There's a letter to the Smyrnians, to the Philadelphians, to the Romans. There's a letter to the Trallians, to the Magnesians, and even to the Ephesians. So these are many letters that Ignatius writes, and one may say that Ignatius's letters can be framed around two aspects. One aspect is the preservation of church polity, and the other is warnings against false teaching. So already in the early church, there is some false teaching that is coming to the fore, and the early fathers or apostolic fathers had a need to write to combat false teaching that was creeping into the Christian community. Now, there are questions to ask regarding Ignatius, and these questions can be posed to us in the 21st century. What would you say to the church on your way to your execution? One may ask, because the letters of Ignatius were written as his last will and testament, written to different churches on his way to his execution or martyrdom. The other thing we notice about Ignatius of Antioch is that as he writes with the understanding that his words will impact Christian generations beyond his own death. So one may even ask, how will our lives reverberate to generations that follow after us? Now, with these two questions, I leave you with some reflections on Ignatius, and I'm looking forward to engaging more of this apostolic father in the next session. Until then, God bless you.